we focus on the usefulness of stakeholder management. Any decision you make will affect other people. It could be about a new or existing product in terms of what you produce, how you produce, or where you produce. It could be about the service you offer. It could be to do with a significant investment. Whatever you do, the more people you affect, the more likely it is that your actions will impact people who have power and influence over your business. These people could be strong supporters of your work, or they could block it. It is therefore important that you are aware of the interest and influence of your stakeholders, and with this knowledge, manage your stakeholders. Stakeholder management is an important discipline that stressful people use to win support from others. It helps them ensure that their businesses succeed where others fail. It encompasses 3 elements: stakeholder analysis, mapping, and planning. The first step is to identify who your stakeholders are. As part of this, think of all the people who are affected by what you do, who have influence or power over it, or have an interest in its successful or unsuccessful activity. This may include your boss, business owner or shareholders, the employees, your team, suppliers, customers, other horticultural enterprises, wholesalers or retailers, government and their agencies, the press, interest groups, the public, local community, neighbours, financial institutions, bank lenders, etc. It includes those both within and outside your business. You may now have a long list of people and organisations that are affected by what you do. Some of these may have the power either to help or to hinder. Some may be interested in what you are doing, others may not care. The second step is to prioritise your stakeholders. You need to work out their power, influence and interest, so you know who you should focus on. You can do this by mapping out your stakeholders on a power interest grid and classifying them by their power over your business and by their interest in your business. Someone's position on the grid shows you the actions you have to take with them. High power, interested people, these are the people you must fully engage and make the greatest efforts to satisfy. High power, less interested people put enough work in with these people to keep them satisfied, but not so much that they become bored with your message. Low power, interested people, keep these people adequately informed and talk to them to ensure that no major issues are arising. These people can often be very helpful in relation to such things as changes in strategic direction, planning issues, etc. Low power, less interested people, again, monitor these people, but do not bore them with excessive communication. The final step in stakeholder analysis is to develop a good understanding of the most important stakeholders so that you know how they are likely to feel about and react to your business and any proposed changes in terms of, for example, products, production techniques, or services. You also need to know how best to engage with them in what you do and how best to communicate with them, building support through stakeholder planning. Key questions that can help you understand your stakeholders are: what financial or emotional interest do they have in the outcome of what you do? Is it positive or negative? What motivates them most of all? What information do they want from you? How do they want to receive information from you? What is the best way of communicating your message to them? What is their current opinion of what you do? Is it based on good information? Who influences their opinions generally? And who influences their opinion of you? Do some of these influences, therefore, become important stakeholders in their own right? If they are not likely to be positive, what will win them around to what you do? If you don't think you will be able to win them around, how will you manage their opposition? Who else might be influenced by their opinions? Do these people also become stakeholders in their own right? A very good way of answering these questions is to talk to your stakeholders directly. People are often quite open about their views, and asking people's opinion is often the first step in building a successful relationship with them. You can summarise the understanding you have gained on a stakeholder map so that you can easily see which stakeholders are expected to be blockers or critics, and which stakeholders are likely to be advocates and supporters of your business, products and services. A good way of doing this is by colour coding, showing advocates and supporters in green, blockers and critics in red, and others who are neutral in orange. Remember that although stakeholders may be both organisations and people, ultimately you must communicate with them. Make sure that you identify the correct individual stakeholders within a stakeholder organisation. You can use the opinions of the most powerful stakeholders to shape your future strategy at an early stage. Not only does this make it more likely that they will support you, their input can also improve the quality of what you plan for the future. Gaining support from powerful stakeholders can help you win more resources. This makes it more likely that your future will be successful. By communicating with stakeholders early and frequently, you can ensure that they fully understand what you're doing. This means they can support you actively when necessary. You can anticipate what people's reaction is to any changes that may be and build into your plan the actions that will win people's support. The use of stakeholder analysis and planning for a communication plan was outlined briefly in Module 5. In this clip, we have highlighted the usefulness of stakeholder management. In summary, it is important to identify, understand, and manage the expectations of stakeholders through appropriate communication and ensure you have considered this when preparing your business plan. Next week's lecture is a case study of how you might take your business plan to a leading institution and what they might expect. Thank you.